the sand till we land and wait for night.
You'd have to be living under a rock if you didn't know how expensive land is in Australia. So I think it's super important that we make the most of what we got. Blocks are getting smaller and areas to jazz up are getting littler. Take this space, for example. You might look at it and go, oh, ugly brick walls, tiny little space. Someone's had a crack once upon a time, put a bathroom tile just straight down on the dirt, and I don't even feel safe walking on it. I reckon I'd pop them all. But the good thing about this, it's small and cute. Small and cute means little job, and I reckon anyone could tackle it. Hardest thing here is just getting rid of the rubbish.
I like where this is going. I like where this is going.
So it's only an area of about 6 or 7 metres, but don't just think of the floor. Think of the walls as well, and you pretty much double it in size. Now, we've got a mismatch of brickwork. This has been bagged, you know, 10 years ago, you'd probably try and render that and paint it crisp white, but now coffee shops and trendy restaurants, they pay extra money for it to look like that. And this one here is mismatched, but it doesn't matter. It all works well together. And the Boston Ivy, well, it goes about 4 neighbours up and hides a lot of brickwork. So I'm not going to hack into this when I'm putting stuff onto the wall because all of that comes back to that. So I'm going to look after that and look after my neighbours. So on this wall, I'm going to use some traditional Turkish antique tiles. They're reproductions, but they look fantastic. And on this wall, I'm going to use a mirror, which will bring in a little bit of extra light during the day, and some louvers on the side, look like a touch of France. So in other words, we've got Turkey, France, and a little Aussie courtyard, all in Marrickville. Marrickville's one of the most multicultural suburbs in Australia, so we're jamming it into this courtyard. I could put the tiles straight onto the brickwork, but there's that joint right down the middle, and the tiles probably end up cracking. And by using a sheet of marine ply, it means if I ever want to move it or put it somewhere else in the garden, you can do it. But I'm still going to put a primer and additive over the top to seal it even more. No one's ever going to see it, so you don't have to paint with the grain. You just got to give it a cover. And then check these out. Now, I've got a selection of different ones, and they are beautiful tiles. And all I'm doing now is laying them out dry, making sure that there's not too much blue or grey or white next to each other. I'm happy with that. It's a good look. Now, rather than lifting one up individually and putting tile adhesive down, I can put the tile adhesive down here and then simply move that over here and lay it. When it comes to tile adhesive, this one has a rubber compound in it, and if you have a look in there, all those little black dots, it's all tiny little pieces of rubber. One bottle of 330 mils is perfect amount. Set your drill to low if you want to mix it, not wear it. Now, if you want your tiles to sit dead flat, you need to use a tool trowel like this. Now, those little teeth, I'm getting a consistent groove, gap, groove, gap. Now, the gap's just as important as the groove. You want all the grooves to be the same height and you want the gap to be similar. So when you put your tile down, you move it around a little bit, the groove fills the gap and all your tiles sit nice and flat. Now, these beautiful tiles are the showpiece. And if I was to go around the outside and border it with a flash new piece of timber, they wouldn't complement each other. But old fence rails, these were probably rafters in a house. You can see where the noggins went through there. It means you can be a bit rough with your carpentry and it still looks good. Now the adhesive's got to set, so I'm going to move away from that wall and onto this one. While I was doing it, Little G, we call him Little G because his name's Graham, but we've got a big G, so he's Little G. He's put up a couple of offcuts of sleeper. I've got a mirror I found in the council throwout. Now, the positives, it was free. It's got the fittings on the back, which I can hook straight onto the wall. The negative is I don't know what kind of mirror it is, so don't put it anywhere where the kid's going to be playing footy or cricket because it might break the bad way. But in this little courtyard, she'll be perfect. Can you grab that, mate? So we've framed it with these offcuts of sleeper and a couple of fence palings. Why? Doesn't really matter. It looks good. The council throwout just keeps giving. Now, these doors were probably off an old built-in cupboard in a bedroom, and all I want is this end here. By the time I go to lift that marine ply with all the tiles on the top, I'm going to need an extra set of hands. There'll be a fair weight involved. So you can't just run a little bit of fishing line, a couple of hooks and hang it on the wall. I've got another piece of marine ply which has got the opposite cut to this one here. So this one I can fix to the back of the tiles, bring the whole thing in and slide it over the top. All the weight is dispersed across the whole tiled frame wall, and I've got 5 fixings into the wall, just instead of 1 if it was a traditional painting that you hung on the wall. Thanks for that, mate. That's great. Well, that's all the heavy lifting. Now we can just move on to the fun stuff, the planting out and dressing up. Now on the floor, I'm putting down hardwood sleepers as my steppers. They're huge, they're relatively cheap to buy, and they've got more character than treated pine. I just like the grain and the fact that they go grey as they get older. Now I'm putting in a bench. It's 1.85 metres long, so I'm cutting 3 of these sleepers at 2 metres so the feet can sit comfortably on a couple of them. Perfect. This little courtyard gets heavy shade because of all the big surfaces around the edge of it. So Tenanthe with its beautiful jungle-type leaf on the top and its burgundy underneath is perfect. It won't get much taller than this, and it'll max out just underneath the shelf. And then between the steppers, we've got Pratia. Now, it's actually called a steppable when you buy it at Bunnings. It doesn't mean you can play footy and cricket on it, but it means when you plant it out and you do try to step on the hardwood, you can step on a little bit. It'll just prune it. These will spread out. I'm going to plant them about 100 to 150 mil apart. Plenty of water. They'll join up in no time at all. I'm going to put them out dry and actually back